Hi, I'm Miriam Castilla, and in today's Effectology Tip, I'm going to tell you how to get the energy to get through anything. So stick around. Okay, I'm sure you found that there are some things in life, some situations, some projects that you work on, some things you do that just drain you. They're a drag, they're a drain. Just knowing that you have to do that the next day will cause you to have a restless sleep and wake up with a feeling of dread. And then going through that activity just zaps the strength from you. And then there are other things in life that really light you up, that you can't wait to get stuck into, that when you're doing them, even if you start out feeling a bit tired, by the end of it, you're jazzed, you're energized, you feel like you've just had the best sleep and, had way too much sugar. You're just on a high. And it's from doing a thing. And really, the thing is just a thing, and the other thing that drained you is just a thing. So what's the difference? Well, this is something that is sort of beyond our conscious thinking. It's beyond rhyme or reason or trying to make a logical sense of it. Because for some people, it'll actually be the reverse. The thing that drains you lights them up, and the thing that energizes you drains them. So everybody's different. So it's not about, oh, well, that's hard work. It is for you. And for you, it just doesn't gel. But the other thing totally gels, lights you up. So it goes beyond just, rationalizing it and what our conscious mind can come up with. It actually goes really, really deep. It taps into our unconscious and into those deeper parts of us. Those parts of us really, like our ancient lizard brain, our cerebellum, that doesn't actually have capacity for language. It's just motivated by pure emotion. And so these things tap into that ancient part of us, tap into that deep-seated, unconscious, purely emotional part of us. So how do we figure it out so that we can arrange our life to be more in alignment with the things that light us up? How do we kind of get like a map or some sort of measuring stick so that we know in advance before we sign up for things that that's going to feel fantastic and I'm going to love it and do it all day. And that one, not so much. How do we kind of get ahead of the game and really get proactive about this? Well, the best way that you can know in advance and have a really simple guide that lets you know, this is for me, this isn't, this needs to be changed so that it can work for me. The best way to get to that point is to actually know what your core values are, because your core values do speak to that deeply unconscious part of you. They do speak to that ancient primal part of you. And, that's why when you try to rationalize it, it doesn't make sense. And that's why when you try to just come up with a list of values that sound good or that are like a wish list of what you want in life, or a list of shoulds. I should value this because that makes me a good person and that sounds pretty cool to other people. It doesn't work. So how do you get past all of that? How do you really understand what your values are so that they are meaningful in that way that is that completely irrational, unconscious, emotionally driven part of you? How do you use the conscious critical mind to come up with the unconscious irrational stuff? How do you make that bridge? How do you create that link? Well, this is why I love being a hypnotherapist, because hypnosis is a way that we really connect to the unconscious mind. It's a way that we can go deeper and we can get past the monkey mind, past all the chatter, past all the, rationalizing and saying, well, this is how it should be, and maybe it's because of that thing that happened earlier in my life. We get past all of that and we just get down to the pure emotion. And so that's how I like to actually come up with core values. So it's important that when you do your core values, when you sit down to determine what they are, that you get past all the thinking stuff and you really go to the pure emotion. What truly lights you up, and tune into those emotions and then translate them into some words that mean those emotional things for you. Don't try to just come up with a list of words. That's really the essence of my message. When you do your core values, Don't just spew out a list of cool sounding words because it means nothing. If you do it the other way, where you tune into the emotions and you really allow yourself to be immersed in that and go, yeah, that felt great. You know, that lit me up. That was amazing. And then you find lots of things like that and you group them together and you think, okay, what's the common denominator here? That's when you come up with a word to represent those things that is actually deeply meaningful to you. And somebody else may have the same word, but it'll mean something different to them because the emotion that it triggers will be different. So I have a really helpful thing for you to actually go through that process, because once you know your core values, what you can do is use them as a yardstick, use them as a guide, so that before you get yourself into any situation, you can go, well, is this actually in alignment with my core values, or is it out of alignment? And that way you know before you get yourself into something whether it's going to drain you or light you up. So that's why you want to know what they are. You want to have this quick reference guide to go, that's going to work for me, that's not. What you can also use them for is when there's a situation where it's not quite working for you, but you can't just walk away from it. You can't just step away from it and say, I'm done. You still have to keep going. What you can then do is find ways to incorporate and bring your core values into that situation. So you can find ways of tweaking the situation, of changing the way you approach it, of changing the way you do things so that your core values are met by that thing. So going back to what I was saying before, I have something really cool to help you do that. I've actually created a little mini DIY course that helps you uncover your core values. And it is that same process that I take people through in my workshop, like my live workshops and in my one-on-ones. And what you get to do is you get a video that guides you through the process and tells you what to do. And then there's a hypnotic meditation which gets past the monkey mind, past the list of I should have this and value that, gets you beyond all of that and really connects you to the emotion so that you can come up with all those scenarios that feel fantastic and light you up. And then there's a worksheet that helps you then chunk it down and group them together and ultimately come up with a word that means those things that truly speak to the deepest part of you. So it's a beautiful, powerful process. I'll put the link in the description for you. It's totally free. Help yourself to that. And, let me know how you go. Let me know what your values are. I would love you to just put a comment under the blog, or if you found this on Facebook or Twitter or somewhere else, then just leave a comment. Tell me what your values are, but tell me after you do it that way through my process, and let me know, how that feels compared to maybe words you might have chucked down without connecting to that deep unconscious part of you, because you'll notice that the difference is huge and powerful. Okay, that's me done for today. I will see you next time. Bye for now. Stay happy.